My secret $6.8 million gift was meant to save lives, but at a Glitzy charity gala, my boss stole the spotlight and shattered my trust in everyone. I'm Elias Navarro, 42, a freelance graphic designer scraping by in Raleigh, North Carolina. My life's simple by design. A one-bedroom apartment with peeling paint, a 2012 Corolla that rattles on highways, and a closet full of faded flannels from Goodwill. Friends, if you can call them that, say I'm unassuming, the guy who blends into the background at bars and leaves early. I like it that way. My days are client calls, late-night Photoshop sessions, and solitary hikes in Umstead Park, where the pines drown out the noise. I call my mom in Miami every Sunday. She's 68. Still working at a bodega, still asking when I'll settle down. I don't have an answer for her. My boss, Vanessa Caldwell, is 38, a Raleigh-born socialite who runs Pinnacle Events, a company that throws lavish fundraisers for the city's elite. She's all gloss, blonde highlights, tailored dresses, and a smile that's more strategy than warmth. Vanessa's the queen of Raleigh's charity circuit, always at the center of every gala photo. Her husband, Greg, a 40-year-old real estate shark, grinning beside her. She's got a knack for making donors feel like royalty, but to her freelancers, we're cogs in her machine. I'm just the guy who designs her event logos, barely worth a nod unless she's on a deadline. We don't talk beyond email, and I'm fine with that. Her world of champagne and power plays isn't mine. Then there's Priya Shah, 29, my one real friend. She's a floral designer, another Pinnacle freelancer, with a contagious laugh and a sharp eye for people's motives. Priya moved from Atlanta 3 years ago, chasing gigs, and now she's engaged to Dev, her high school sweetheart, a quiet IT guy. They're saving for a house, always joking about making it while splitting cheap takeout. Priya's the only one who pulls me out of my shell, dragging me to coffee shops or texting me dumb memes when I'm holed up working. She calls me Elias the Hermit, but it's fond, not mean. The piece nobody knows, not Priya, not my mom, is my past. Back in 2018, I built a mobile game in my spare time, a quirky puzzle app I coded to cope with losing my cousin Danny to leukemia. When I was 15, it went viral and a tech giant bought it for $8.2 million. After taxes, I had $6.8 million sitting in a bank account. I didn't tell anyone, didn't buy a mansion or a sports car, didn't quit freelancing. The money felt like a burden, a spotlight I didn't want, so I started giving it away, anonymously, through a trust my lawyer set up. Food banks, shelters, youth programs, cancer research. By 2025, I donated nearly all of it, always with one rule, keep my name out. I wasn't doing it for clout. I was doing it for Danny, for the kids who'd never get a gala in their honor. My life stayed small. My secret stayed safe. Or so I thought. That secret became a landmine when Pinnacle announced its Hearts of Hope Gala, a glitzy fundraiser for children's hospitals. I designed the branding, but I didn't expect to attend. I didn't expect Vanessa to find out about my donations, and I sure as hell didn't expect her to claim them as her own. The Hearts of Hope Gala was held on a humid April evening in 2025 at the Raleigh Convention Center, a glittering cage of glass and ambition. I designed the event's branding. Elegant, navy and gold logos, animated banners, programs that screamed, "Give us your money." But I had no plans to go. Galas were for people like Vanessa, not freelancers like me who'd rather be home with a sketchpad. Priya changed that. "Come on, Elias," she texted. "Free booze, rich people drama, and I need a wingman." I groaned, but caved, renting a tux that felt like a costume and meeting her at the venue. The ballroom was a sensory overload. Crystal chandeliers, string quartet, waiters weaving through sequined gowns and tailored suits. Priya, in an emerald green dress, handed me a glass of wine. "Look at this circus," she whispered, nodding at a councilman spilling his drink. We parked ourselves near a dessert table, trading snarky commentary, her on the floral budget, me on the mayor's clip-on. Bow tie. Vanessa was everywhere, a blonde beacon in a red gown, laughing with donors, her heels clicking like a countdown. I avoided her, content to be invisible. Around 9 p.m., the lights dimmed for the auction. Paintings, yacht weekends, a signed guitar, rich, people bidding to feel generous. Then the MC, a local TV anchor with 2 white teeth, took the mic. "Tonight, we honor a historic gift," he said, voice dripping with gravitas. "A single donor has given $2 million to the Children's Cancer Ward, the largest in our gala's history." The room buzzed. My throat tightened. That was my donation, funneled through my trust, the one I'd triple-checked to stay anonymous. I'd given it in Danny's memory, picturing kids like him getting a shot at life. No one could know it. was me. No one. And now, the MC beamed, we can reveal the donor's identity. My heart slammed against my ribs. Priya glanced at me, confused by my sudden grip on the table. Please, a standing ovation for Vanessa Caldwell. The room exploded. Claps, cheers, a few gasps. Vanessa rose, hand on her chest, eyes wide like she hadn't expected it. Greg clapped furiously beside her, his grin all teeth. Priya leaned in. Wait, Vanessa? Since when does she have that kind of money? I couldn't speak. My vision tunneled. Vanessa was stealing my donation, my secret, my tribute to Danny. The betrayal burned, sharp and surreal. I stumbled to the lobby, gulping air. Priya followed, her voice soft. Elias, what's wrong? You're freaking me out. I wanted to tell her, but the words wouldn't come. Just need a minute, I mumbled, pacing the marble floor. How had this happened? My lawyer swore the trust was ironclad. Had someone leaked it? Had Vanessa bluffed her way into it? My mind raced, replaying every interaction with her. She'd never hinted at knowing, never treated me like anything but a grunt. Back inside, Vanessa was at the podium, voice trembling, with fake humility. This cause is so personal to me, she said, dabbing her eyes. Every child deserves a chance. The crowd ate it up, but I caught her glance my way as I slipped back in. It was fleeting, a flicker of something. Defiance? Guilt? She knew I was onto her. My hands shook with rage, but I stayed quiet, scanning the room. People were toasting her, calling her a saint. It was a lie built on my money, my pain. After the speech, I found her near the coat check, away from the crowd. Vanessa, I said, voice low, we need to talk. Her smile was a blade, sharp and practiced. Elias, it's a hectic night. Tomorrow, okay? No, I said, stepping closer. That $2 million. It wasn't yours. Her eyes flickered, but the smile held. I don't know what you mean. The trust listed me. It's all documented. She leaned in, voice like ice. You're a freelancer. Don't stir up trouble you can't handle. She brushed past me, her perfume lingering like a taunt. I stood there, fists balled, the weight of her threat sinking in. She'd played her hand, and I was out of moves, for now. That night I couldn't sleep. Vanessa's lie wasn't just theft. It was a violation, turning Danny's memory into her stepping stone. I had to stop her, but how? She had the connections, the charm, the stage. I was nobody. But I wasn't nothing. Not yet. Vanessa's lie. At the gala wasn't just a theft. It was a gut punch, turning my quiet tribute to Danny into her personal victory lap. I couldn't let her get away with it. Not when that $2 million was meant for kids fighting the same cancer that took him. But I wasn't naive. Vanessa had Raleigh's elite wrapped around her finger. Donors, board members, even the local press. If I called her out without proof, she'd spin me as a bitter freelancer with a grudge. I needed a plan, one that would expose her without dragging me into the spotlight I'd spent years avoiding. First, I looped in Priya. I didn't spill everything, just that I suspected Vanessa was lying about the donation and needed her help to dig. We met at a dive bar the next day, her eyes wide as I sketched out the basics. Elias, that's insane, she said, stirring her soda. But why would she risk it? I shrugged, not ready to admit the donation was mine. Priya agreed to snoop. She had access to Pinnacle's event files and a knack for charming info out of people, including Mark, the charity's treasurer. Over coffee, she got him to admit the anonymous donors' trust had no name attached, just a law firm's contact. Vanessa had swooped in, claiming she was the donor's proxy. Mark hadn't pushed back. Her confidence was disarming. Next, I called my lawyer, Carla, who'd set up the trust. She was livid. This is a breach, she said, voice tight. Someone at the charity screwed up. She traced it. A junior staffer had misread a memo and tipped Vanessa, assuming she was legit. Carla drafted a letter from the trust to the charity, stating the donor wasn't Vanessa, and demanding a correction. I stayed anonymous, but gave her permission to name me if it came to a fight. The idea of my name out there made my skin crawl. I'd built my life around staying small, but I couldn't let Vanessa's lie stand. I got reckless too. Vanessa's emails to me were full of her usual self-aggrandizing nonsense, bragging about owning the gala or dismissing donors as needy. I anonymized a few, stripping my name, and sent them to Raleigh Unraveled, a local blog that loved exposing non-profit drama. I didn't mention the donation, just hinted at Pinnacle's shady leadership. It was a long shot, but if Vanessa doubled down, I wanted her credibility shaky. Waiting was torture. I kept freelancing for Pinnacle, churning out flyers while Vanessa strutted around, milking her philanthropist status. At one meeting, she gushed about her donation, and I had to bite my tongue so hard it bled. Priya kept me grounded, texting me gifs of exploding heads to diffuse my rage. But at night, I was a wreck, replaying the gala, checking Carla's updates, wondering if I'd gone too far. What if Vanessa traced the blog tip to me? What if the charity botched the correction? I'd given away $6.8 million to stay invisible, and now I was risking it all. By late April, the pieces were in place. Carla sent the letter. Priya confirmed Mark was suspicious, quietly auditing the donation records. The blog post was drafted, waiting for a spark. I felt like I was wiring a bomb. One wrong move and I'd blow up my own life. But every time I wavered, I thought of Danny, bald and smiling in his hospital bed, playing my dumb game prototype. That $2 million was his legacy, not Vanessa's prop. I didn't want fame or credit. I wanted truth. So I tightened the screws and waited for her to crack, knowing the fallout could take me down too. Vanessa's house of cards collapsed by mid-May. The charity's letter, backed by my lawyer's threat of legal action, forced Pinnacle to investigate. Mark, the treasurer, uncovered Vanessa's lie. No proof tied her to the $2 million, just her word. When confronted, she spun a tale of miscommunication, but the board wasn't buying it. Then Raleigh Unraveled's post hit, quoting Vanessa's emails, her snide jabs at donors and boasts about working the gala. The non-profit scene erupted. Donors pulled funding from Pinnacle's next event, and Twitter lit up with hashtags like #Vanessa Fraud. A prominent pediatrician tweeted, "Stealing credit for kids' cancer funds? Unforgivable." Vanessa tried to save face. She called a board meeting, claiming the donation was on behalf of a client, but her story unraveled when Mark produced the trust's paperwork, my paperwork, anonymized. Greg, her husband, went nuclear, storming Pinnacle's office to scream about slander. Priya, who witnessed it, said he looked unhinged, threatening lawsuits while Vanessa sobbed crocodile tears. It didn't help. The board suspended her, and by June, she resigned under pressure. Pinnacle's statement was curt. Ms. Caldwell is no longer with us. Her socialite friends ghosted her. Gala invites stopped. Greg stood by her, but their Instagram, once a highlight reel, went dark. The charity corrected the record, stating, "The donor was anonymous, with a vague apology for the error. My name stayed out, as I'd insisted, but the damage was done." Vanessa tried to pin it on me, emailing the board that I'd stirred drama out of jealousy. It backfired. Priya shared Vanessa's text pressuring her to stay quiet, which Mark leaked to the board. Vanessa's credibility was ash. Rumors swirled she was pitching a consulting firm, but Raleigh's elite wouldn't touch her. She and Greg retreated to their lake house, out of the public eye. Priya was shaken but fierce, furious at Vanessa's gall. She and Dev rallied around me, inviting me for game nights to keep my spirits up. Pinnacle's staff whispered about the scandal. Some guessed I was involved but didn't push. The board offered me a retainer, likely to avoid trouble, but I declined. The non-profit world felt tainted. Online, the story grew legs. Reddit threads on our TrueOffMyChest speculated about the mystery donor, but I stayed silent. Vanessa's fall was public, brutal, and final, yet it didn't feel like victory. She'd gambled with my secret, and lost, but the cost was my trust in the system I'd relied on to stay hidden. The dust settled by July 2025, but the gala's shadow lingers. I'm still Elias Navarro, the guy with the beat-up Corolla and thrift store flannels, but I'm not the same. I stayed anonymous. The charity kept my name out, as I demanded, and the Reddit sleuths never pinned me as the donor. Priya knows. The truth now. I told her one night over takeout, swearing her to secrecy. She hugged me, teared up, then laughed. "You're a freaking saint with the worst car in Raleigh. Her and Dev's wedding's next month, and I'm designing their invites for free. It's the least I can do." I cut ties with Pinnacle. They pushed a full-time gig, probably to keep me quiet, but I'm done with their glitz and games. Freelancing's enough. Small clients, local cafes, non-profits too tiny for drama. I've got $500,000 left from the game sale, locked tight with a new lawyer who triple-checks every move. I'm donating it slowly to vetted groups, shelters, art programs, cancer research. No more trusts, no more risks. Every dollar's a choice, and I'm choosing careful. My mom still doesn't know. She'd fret, lecture me about wasting millions. Maybe I'll tell her someday, over cafecito in Miami, when the stings faded. For now, I'm back to hikes in Umstead, sketching in my downtime, rebuilding the quiet I lost. But the gala cracked something in me. I used to think money could do good without strings, that I could give and stay invisible. Vanessa proved me wrong. Generosity's a magnet for greed, and privacy's a luxury I can't take for granted. Vanessa's gone from Raleigh's scene. Word is she's consulting in Charlotte, but her old crowd won't touch her. Greg's with her, though their marriage sounds strained. Gossip says he's bitter about the humiliation. I don't hate her. She wasn't a monster, just a woman chasing a spotlight that burned her. Her fall was loud, but it didn't heal me. Justice isn't joy, it's just a door closing. I wonder if she's learned, or if she's still weaving stories to claw back what she lost. I'm guarded now, less trusting. The world feels sharper, full of Vanessas waiting for a chance to take. But I won't stop giving. Danny's memory deserves that. Every kid fighting cancer does. I just do it my way. No galas, no applause, no mistakes. My piece is hard won, stitched from solitude and small acts. Raleigh's still home, with its sticky summers and pine trails, and I'm still here, drawing, living, letting the past scar over. The millions are gone, but I'm not empty. I'm free, in a way I wasn't before, and that's enough.